I sure hope you guys are not getting tired of this. Maybe you guys are, I don't know. But yeah, we're doing yet another tier list video. Like, I'm just gonna keep doing these, I guess. I mean, I will do this. But we're gonna continue our tf2 tier list video. So last time we did the scout, but this time we're going for the soldier. The guy that uses rockets, shotguns, shovels, pickaxes, parachutes, banners, everything like that. And we're gonna go over all different weapons and the evidence I know, and put in the right ranks, and then give you my opinion on my top picks for both CTF and MVM. So that might make sense. So as always, the same way we're doing before, we're starting with primaries. First, the stock rocket launcher. Just the regular rocket launcher. It just normal projectile speed, normal blast radius, normal damage, just normal clip size. It's just useful. Though you can do a lot more with these. You can do a lot more than just a stock. So people can use it, but it's not good enough. So it goes in C tier. Never had known better. Next, we got the airstrike. Airstrike is kind of cool in itself because it does behave like the stock, but if you kill anyone with it, increases the clip size and also decreases the damage you take when you try to rocket jump. So if you really are good at rocket jumping, it would be much better to use the rocket jumper. But yeah, the airstrike is pretty good, so in case you don't want to reload as much, this will be a good choice for you. But of course, if you die, then the clip size resets back to 4. So this is kind of cool in itself. So yeah, if you don't like reloading, then I say this helps. So it goes in B tier. Now for black box. This is a strange one itself because this gives you extra health. Well, this gives you a lot of health if you play X10 servers. Or actually, now that I'm seeing it, it's actually in the black box that gives you extra health. I really made that mistake. But yeah, black box does give you health every time you hit someone with it. Though it does have less clip size, so you'll have to reload more often. So it's not the best, but if you need survival, then I would say this is the good choice for you. So this will go in B tier along with the airstrike. Next we have direct hit. This is probably the best soldier primary you can use, period. If you don't know why, but basically this has insane projectile speed. So basically, you just have to hit directly to deal the most damage. This even has a damage boost, and this even has less blast radius. Or that's rather a nerf that is involved. But yeah, no matter the circumstance, this is gonna be a good choice. So we're gonna put the direct hit in S tier. This is the best one. Next, we got beggars. The beggars is honestly a strange weapon in itself. Is you mainly have to load it and then you can fire off. So this is kind of a strange weapon. So you're just gonna have to load it, but you're gonna have to load it at the right time because if you overload it, then it misfires and you will die. And it's pretty intimidating to actually use in X10 servers, even though you're not gonna really be able to hit anything. Because of the spread that will involve in X10 servers, it's actually pretty intimidating. But if you need the intimidation, that will be fine. But overall, this is kind of a trash weapon. And besides, it is kind of made out of trash, so... But yeah, I mean, sometimes you can get a kill with the beggars on, like, X10 servers, but it can't usually happen, so for just normal CTF, we're gonna put it in D tier. It's only useful for X10 servers. Now for Rocket Jumper. Now, the usefulness for Rocket Jumper depends on who you are asking, but if you're asking me, who I'm just, a soldier that fires a lot, that just, wants to fire dart or fire rockets at people, then this is not really good enough. But if you really need to rocket jump and combine something with something like the Market Gardener, then I guess that'll be okay enough for your taste for rocket jumping. But overall, this is just a bad weapon. This doesn't do damage if you're just trying to hit people with it, so we are going to put it in D tier if you're trying to use it, if you're just trying to be combat soldier, not a rocket jumper soldier. But yeah, usefulness depends on who you're asking. Now for Liberty Launcher. This is a strange one itself. This does have projectile speed, but it doesn't have the lower blast radius that the direct hit does. But you do want to aim enough, time the shots correctly. And this does have extra clip size unlike the direct hit. So you can reload more, but it's not gonna be as useful. But yeah, if you need the extra clip size, this is gonna be good for you. So we will put this in A tier. Now for sort of an oddity, the Cow Mangler. So Cow Mangler doesn't use ammo, which is cool, but you'll have to notice that it's not really going to actually deal crits in any way. Even if you do the Catcher the Fly crit boost, you're only just gonna deal mini crits. No matter even if it does, even if you just crit boost it in any way possible. So no matter what you do, it can't crit boost. But you can at least do mini crits, since I think mini crits are way more common to get, if I'm concerned enough. And you can also deal a charge shot, which just does a lot of damage, and sets people on fire. So this is kind of cool to use. It's not the best, since it doesn't have extra projectile speed or anything. It just has, it just never requires ammo. So this is going to be important. So this might be useful in case you don't want ammo. You don't want to just run out of ammo so fast. Then, well, this is good for you. So it goes in A tier. Now for the original. This is a strange one in itself because in the first person view, it's actually pointing at the bottom screen rather than pointing at the right. So it's kind of ideal for rocket jumping, but other than that, it just behaves a lot like stock. So there's not really much reason to use the original in any way, so we're just going to put it in C tier. Now on to the secondaries. First we got the stock shotgun. Just a regular shotgun. You just deal 6 shots at enemies and then deal enough damage. This can be useful in case you don't use banners, though I would kind of recommend using banners because that is going to help. But if you need to deal enough damage but think your rocket launcher is not going to work, then the shotgun's gonna work. Because, yeah, faster projectile speed, instant projectile speed. So, yeah, in case your target keeps dodging your rockets, shotguns are going to be your friend. So, but other than that, it just is normal. So, we'll put it in right about B tier. Now for the reserve shooter. Now, this one is kind of unique in itself, because it actually deploys faster, and you can deal mini crits to people who got launched by rockets or bombs or anything that sent them flying. Though you do have lower clip size, this is gonna be useful. So if you're probably I think this would be more useful if you're pyro or something, or pyro, but overall this is fine if you like mini crits. So if you like mini crits, this would be good. But other than that, it's just stock, but deploys faster and lower clip size. So we'll put it in about B tier, along with the the stock. Now for Panic Attack. This one shoots more bullets than the other two shotguns. But this does allow... And this actually, can be pretty cool. Though successful shots aren't as accurate, to be fair. And this does deal less damage. So if you're on an X100 server, this cannot deal damage. Like X1000 or whatever. I've seen a server with a X10000 and basically a Panic Attack won't damage you. But yeah, sometimes you're gonna have to deal enough damage. So it's much better to do it with the other two rocket launchers. But other than that, this thing just isn't gonna help you in any way. So we'll put it in C tier. And of course, it probably has the lower clip size. Wait, let's see. Let's see if it does. Hold on. We're gonna see it, don't worry. Okay, so it doesn't. So it fires fixed shot pattern, and successive shots become less accurate. So it's not going to be useful in any way. But it's not as terrible as Beggars or Rocket Jumper. It's just, you know, bad, if I'm considered. Now for Righteous Bison. This is the pistol weapon. Basically, it's like Rocket Launcher, only it's in a secondary tab, and projectiles cannot be deflected. Which is good, but other than that, it's just gonna be regular, you know, rocket launcher. So, yeah, there it is. So, and then it also penetrates targets and doesn't require ammo. But you'll have to keep in mind, it won't damage buildings as much, so I can assume that if you want to really be superior enough, you can just use the Bison for most of the time, and then for some building destruction, you can just use it with the rocket launcher. But other than that, this is going to be useful anyway, so I think we can put it in... let's just put it in S tier, I think. That's probably going to be useful, if I'm correct on that. So it can be useful against pyros who like reflecting a lot. Now for the two boot items, we got the gunboats. This does block this does prevent damage. So if you combine it with airstrikes, increase clip size and decrease damage ability, you can basically barely take damage with the gunboats on. So this can probably be useful if you like rocket jumping but don't want to use the rocket jumper. But yeah, this is kind of cool. But this is just a secondary that just does absolutely nothing else. So we're gonna put it in B tier. Now for the other item, we got gunboats, which I believe that's what it's called. Let's see. So info about this. Wait, no, they're called mantreads. Yeah, they're called mantreads. No. Yeah, let's see if I got this wrong here. I'm pretty. I know I got this. Just trust me. Let's see, where are they? There they are, the mantreads. So these weapons are pretty cool, or they are, since you can actually just rather land on enemies and deal more damage. And this thing has no disadvantages at all. It has only advantages. So I think this can be useful in case you want to combine it with the rocket jumper and the market gardener. So you can deal enough damage by stomping, but sometimes you want to also deal enemies that are in midair with your market gardener. So I guess this is cool, but if you're just like me, I wouldn't recommend this. Also, I just want to change the I want to change both the mantreads and airstrike for a bit. I'll put the airstrike in A, and then the gunboats in B or C. But mantreads are going to be useful, but if you're just trying to combat, then this isn't going to help. So this goes in Right about B tier, I guess. That's what it'll do. Now for the banners, first we've got Buff Banner. This allows mini crits, so if you want to deal enough damage with your squad or team, then I think this will be useful. So we'll put it in about A tier. Next we got the Battalion's Backup. So this one does give you more health, which I accidentally mistaken the Black Fox for the extra health boost. But this allows defense. This is going to be slightly useful, but it's not quite. So we'll put it in right about the B tier. And then Conchure, or well, the Conch, if you like to say it that way. And this allows extra health regen and a speed boost. This is probably the most useful, if I am certain. So I use it all the time. So it goes in S tier, no doubting. Now for probably the weird one, we got the base jumper. Not sure if I say that right. But yeah, this is the base jumper. It's typically a parachute item, which allows the use of safe landing. So it typically, if you like rock jumping and combating, but need to land safely because you're low on health, I think this would be useful. But of course, eventually an enemy's gonna target you down, so it's probably not gonna work at all. So I would not kind of recommend this. So we're gonna put it in D tier. This is just not right. Now for the last category, we got melees. So first, the stock shovel, entrenched tool, whatever. This is just a regular shovel. It doesn't have anything special to do with it. Just a plain shovel, so it goes in D tier. So yeah, stock melees are just well, totally unnecessary. Or at least not always if you're playing X100 and using the spine eye, because you can just swing very fast, if I'm certain. Next we got the two pickaxes, the escape plan and equalizer. They're both kind of different from each other. Let's just let's first start with the equalizer, because that came first. So this is pretty cool, because every time you have this equipped, you get more damage if you're low on health. So this can kind of help if you're trying to melee more people, and you see just the amount of health you have. This can be supposedly extremely useful. And you can see you can deal about a lot of damage with it. So you can see right here with a critical hit, or you know, a random crit, because this has random crits, then you can deal 321 damage with 1 health. So this is extremely useful. But of course, you don't heal as fast, because honestly, you're gonna do the low health maneuver, so that's to be expected. But you can easily take out a heavy one shot with 1 health. So this is gonna be useful, I guess. So I probably think I should use it, but I'd rather use disciplinary action. I mean, I'll just face it, I don't typically use melees, so... But this is good, so I'll put it in S tier for the time being. Now for escape plan, which had the original model for the equalizer. So this is sort of behaves almost similar, but it doesn't rather increase your damage, it rather increases how fast you run as you have low health. So this can be useful for when you're trying to escape. This is named escape plan, and then combined with the conch, then you can basically be cool enough. But you'll have to keep in mind, you're going to be marked for death while it's active, and shortly after you switch weapons. Much like the critical from the scout, that the Scout uses, but of course, if you want to see the Scout tier list, then check it out. And of course, just like the Equalizer, you'll heal less often from medics. So this can be... So, typically, if you need to go fast, I think this would be useful. But other than that, it's just... not good. It's just less useful than Equalizer, so... we'll put it about the A tier. If I'm correct. Now, for one that is good for market gardening, but just normal combat, not really. The Market Gardener. So this one is kind of useful in itself, because if you're airborne, you can crit an enemy with it. So this is mainly used for rocket jumping, but if you just regular combat, this tier list is for regular combat soldiers, not rocket jumper soldiers in any way. Besides, I don't do rocket jump. I never want to learn how to rocket jump. So this is not quite as useful, but if you need rocket jumping, this is probably a good idea. So we will put it in C tier. Not the best, but it could be useful. Now for the melee, I would use the Disciplinary Action. So this weapon is kind of cool in itself, because this does allow you to just deal enough damage. Or, not really, it has a damage penalty. But, every time you hit if you hit an ally with it, both you and them will run faster. So this can be useful if you need to go fast. If you want to just have your buddy be fast, like your medic. So this is kind of useful, since I would kind of want to use it, but if you're just gonna play the game regularly, or in case you're not really wanting to go fast, then I wouldn't think this is useful. But this is probably gonna be good anyway, so we're gonna put it in S tier. Now for two more weapons, we got the Half Zatoichi. Let's look this up. It's supposed to be the... There's the Half Zatoichi. So you'll gain 50% of the base health on kill. So every time you kill someone, you gain health, if I'm correct. And also, if you're attacking another soldier or demo that is also wielding the Zatoichi, it one-shots them. It just can one-shot. So this is kind of useful. Just check out the demonstration video. Let's get to the right part and see. It should be... There it is, right here. Oh, and also, every time you, try to switch weapons, then you'll find you can't, because it will damage you, unless you get a kill with it. But if you're Demo Knight, then I would say this is a good idea. Okay, now here's the part that I'm talking about. Just watch. Boom. See, if you can one-shot other people wielding this. You know, other soldiers and demos. But other than that, this is not a good idea in any ways. But if you're mainly trying to be Demo Knight, then I would say this would be a good idea. But for a soldier, this is trash. So, D tier is where it goes for a soldier. Now for a real oddity, the Pain Train. So, this is a cool one, since this is mainly useful for capture point modes, like, you know, control point, since it makes your capture rate faster on wearer. So if you necessarily want to capture fast, you can have this in your inventory, but you'll have to keep in mind that your bullet damage is increased by 10% at all times, not just when you're equipping it. So this is going to be strange to use. But I mean, it's useful for the capture point modes like attack/defend. You know, ones where that has the CP, but if you're playing capture the flag, I wouldn't and this is kind of useless. So let's just say for capture the flag, we're gonna put it in right about D tier. But now we got that, let's go over the top picks. So add more, just add 2. So put 2 new top picks. Like that. And here are top picks for CTF. Or, capture the flags mode I always would buy. So, number 1, the direct hit. This is extremely useful in every circumstance, no matter what. So this is gonna be pretty useful. So if you're just trying to hit people at close range, you're just gonna defeat them. Number 2, the conch. Here, let's just edit this one to MVM. I think this is gonna be important. But yeah, MVM, or conch is good for CTF. Escape plans are just necessary. Or combined with the escape plan. And then, now that I'm thinking this, let's just put the melee for, let's actually just do disciplinary action. I would kind of use this for a little speed boost, but I don't use melees, so I'm not gonna really want to use it. But this can be used, but I think the equalizer can be useful, so would probably use it, I guess. Now for MVM. Number 1, the Cow Mangler. Even though you can't crit boost it, it's still gonna be useful, if I'm concerned. So you can deal enough damage with it, even with a charge shot. And number 2, the Buff Banner, since you'll need to do enough damage for MVM, so it's gonna be pretty useful. And then for number 3, the Equalizer, since I'm starting to realize its stats. So this can be useful for when you just want to deal enough damage. So yeah, I'll just put it at that. So yeah, that is my tier list for the soldier in TF2. I hope you find it useful. Leave a like, subscribe, ring the bell, and I just hope you